listening to Off the Rip.
Hey man, we got OTR staff here, man. We up at Dated Faded Warren.
Yes,
It's
sir.
like a legendary moment, honestly. We with B-Mac, the one and only. This is the start of something new. We got a new segment under Off the Rip called The Money Good, honestly. And I know the money good is your way.
All right.
So what you call them, entrepreneur. I feel like this cultural legend, knowing everything that goes about in the cultural world.
Yeah.
Somebody that's just a hustler trying to get things done, and just somebody that make things happen, honestly. So we just want to say we appreciate you and just appreciate you having us on. The legendary B-Mac right here, y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And then I appreciate y'all for the platform to, put me in this. So I appreciate you and, the whole team from St. Louis and everybody, I just appreciate y'all too. Much love, vice versa.
No, that's love right there. What you calling? So B-Mac, we just here today. We just want to know your whole story, honestly.
Okay.
Just from start to finish. And Dated Faded Warren and everything you done, before any of that, who is B-Mac?
Who is B-Mac?
Who is Barry?
Who is Barry? That's a really good question. I don't get to, a lot of people do know me from what's all happened up to this point. So like in the beginning of it all, I mean, I don't look as athletic as I used to be right now, you know what I'm saying? But like, who is Barry? The first basketball player and the ice hockey player.
Okay.
So coming from Ohio, moving to Texas, I actually played ice hockey for like 8 years. I was a little kid playing. I was really good, only black dude on the team, but I was like getting a hat trick every game, getting actually early recruited at that time too before moving to Texas. But I'm a sports guy, sneakers heavy. I was one of the guys on the basketball team with a whole closet. I can't even fit no clothes in there, and that's the truth. I couldn't have no clothes in my closet. It was just shoe boxes stacked up all the way up to the top. So I was known for being a sneakerhead and all, and I couldn't wait for the opportunity to turn it into a business. So I started going little sneaker shows here and there. At that time, it was only for size 13. I only had size 13. I wasn't like buying and flipping like different size shoes at the time. So like really just all size 13. I was sitting there at my table, and then eventually I just started adding a rack or two just to kind of be a little different because I was into sports jerseys, so. Interfering with that, gave me the idea with ex-partner of mine to create like the first vintage event with a DJ and that type of style event that I'm still doing now here to Dallas.
Okay.
So from there, I mean, that partnership didn't fully work out, but shortly after that, that's when I branded Dated Faded Warren as a brand.
Okay,
around
okay.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get that deep, Barry, honestly, what you call this? Tell us about your ice hockey career, your basketball career. Tell us about that. Like, give us the ins and outs.
So like moving here to Texas, my first time playing, it was actually my second year playing organized basketball.
Okay. How old was you?
Ninth grade. Yeah,
Okay,
ninth grade.
grade.
So I'm starting high school out here, coming from private school and in Ohio. So it was my first time actually going to public schools too.
Okay.
So
This is
I knew I was
different.
I was opening up a whole new realm of my life where I'm just like, okay, first it's public schools, and then it's like a whole new state. When I first looked at Texas from Ohio, only thing I could think of was like Cowboys. Erykah Badu, of course. That's the only Erykah Badu was always on my mind moving out here that trip. I just thinking about her because I always was listening to her. Mainly, I just had my perception of Texas that when I came out here, it was a complete opposite. People were cool. I just had to get adjusted to the lingo, But I was a freshman on varsity. That was a blessing right there,
Gotcha. Okay.
And I think that had a lot to do. Even though it was my second organized year playing basketball, hockey had a lot to do with that because hockey was really, truly my first love.
Okay.
So I think, still hockey being 5-on-5,
Okay.
assisting and passing is really the part of the game. I think I came into it all surprised the varsity coach moving in just by my passing skills.
Okay.
So that's what got me on varsity. I ain't gonna lie. Then I was able to learn from there. So played ball at Tarleton State University.
Okay.
Then I came back here to finish out in JUCO in Plano, and that's when I ended it all. It was Collin College.
Okay, so you didn't go anywhere at the JUCO?
Nah, right after that JUCO, that's where I was like getting really more heavy into like investing into myself, into doing events, the sneaker cons, start doing bigger events. Start realizing, hey, it's a little more pricey, but I am, getting my brand out there a little bit to more people. So, I mean, that's where at least where hockey coming to. I still love hockey. It's crazy that like basketball and hockey playoffs is always, and season starts at the same time, always around the same time. This time of the season for me is just a lot to watch on TV.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And was you solid at hockey and basketball? Was you pretty good? Was you pretty decent?
I could have. I mean, I know people say I wish I would have, could have, all of that, but like if I stayed in Dayton, Ohio, playing ice hockey at the height I ended up turning out to, and like the competition and my advancements on how like I was knowing the game a little bit more, I started figuring it out. I easily could. I mean, it was on track to easily become a D1, have a D1 scholarship, specifically through hockey. Whether that was probably like Ohio State or Michigan, or just any one of those big Midwest powerhouse schools. But in basketball, enough to get me a college scholarship. So, you know what I'm saying? That, I say that's how high enough on basketball I was.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I seen some of your highlights, B-Mac. Honestly, you was a killer.
So
where did you get it from? Like the killer instinct just to go out there, perform? Like who taught you, Pops, or who was it?
Man, so my pops really wasn't really athletic in like high school and college. He didn't really do all of that. So like, man, I gotta say, Tracy McGrady specifically, Penny Hardaway.
Maybe when I'm out early.
And yeah, even though I was mainly still playing hockey, I still was watching basketball. I still felt like that was more exciting to watch, even though I was perfecting my craft in hockey. The Penny Hardaway, T-Mac, I gotta say those two right there. Before LeBron, like coming out of Ohio and seeing his journey, that was. I mean, I gotta say those two really wanted me to be like that big, tall guard type, So I was kind of studying their game, realizing these guys are playing against shorter point guards and not getting ripped all the time. It's not that hard. I mean, it was a little hard at that time then to just kind of think about the game and how I can adjust, But yeah, now I gotta say those two specifically kept me in the basketball side of things.
Got you. So I'm in this store now, and I just love it, honestly. Like I salute you honestly just for what you've done, honestly. And there's just so much culture in here, and it just brings back so many memories.
Right.
Where did you like find that love for culture and like the community, especially the Black community, when it comes to sports and just television, honestly? Like, where did this love for the culture come from?
I gotta say, back to the sneakers, when I'm watching these players that I mentioned have their own silhouette shoe, and I was able to see like the impact on that. I mean, I specifically played in certain basketball shoes just because I like the player, you know what I'm saying? I was really just like, I don't really care how I look. I was the only dude out there, with the big old Charles Barkley 94 joints. But I didn't mind that. It's just like I was really out there like supporting the culture on that side. Like I want this because it's Charles Barkley, you know what I'm saying? So like a little bit of that, and then my knowledge at least into the store, just keeping up with different T-shirts that I sell. In the store, it's definitely like specific categories we have in store, but along the way, I was able to see a lot of different T-shirts. I mean, learned myself over T-shirts I was probably a little bit unfamiliar with, especially on like the band and rock side that I was just not too familiar with. I got to understand why this one is a little bit more valuable than this one. You know what I mean? And that stuff takes time. There's no rush into something like a community like this where you have to you have to have your knowledge to support. What you're talking about. Yeah.
So for you, I just moved out here recently in the last 6 months.
Right.
For you, was it a hard process moving from Ohio over to Dallas?
So I mean, I gotta say, I was a little younger than where you was when you moved out here, so it was kind of like a thing. I kind of didn't even have no say, so you know what I'm saying. I hated to leave my friends in school, you know, and I hated to leave the point that I was in hockey, because I was getting, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I was kind of getting like illegally early recruited, you know, um, it was tough. It was tough, you know what I'm saying? And then I came out to Texas, and then I seen the competition that I would be playing with to keep hockey up, and it just wasn't as popping out here, so I just kind of let that go. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, I just had to stay focused. It was an adjustment, like I said, the lingo. The heat, hell, I mean, being first off, the heat, and then moving from Ohio, where it's a little more hills, my allergies. I mean, I still haven't got fully adjusted to the allergy. I've been out here now a little over 15 years, so.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
So what you call them? So from the start to finish, just getting into this.
Yeah.
I know you spoke to me. You went through like a lump sum before all this got started. I know you say you took some time. I don't know if you say you went through depression and like
absolutely,
stress.
yeah.
Honestly, can you speak on that?
So
what was you going through?
Well, I mean, I gotta say like that. I mean, that can hit you at any time. I'll be honest with you. You know, we could look at a lot of successful people, and we really don't even know what really goes on behind closed doors. You know, a lot of people probably can be or depressed in some cases and just going day by day and taking their time with it, and I salute that. Because there was a time for me where, right after basketball, really, and I was just really trying to find my direction. I was more spending money into the events, not necessarily seeing too much of the return at the time. No profit really coming in at the time.
Speaking on this, TJ.
Yeah, driving out to wherever, you know what I'm saying? I drove to Atlanta, drove, up to Oklahoma countless of times, and Arizona, just moving around, just really trying to blow it up. It can get really tough in there, and you know what I'm saying? I know everybody say the same cliche thing about like, just hang in. I think Nike, they're so successful for right now simply because of the slogan that they was able to take before anybody else, and that's just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel that, and I was able to see that now, through the store, because I was at a moment where I'm like, man, forget all of this. I'm about to just sell what I have. I'm about to sell my LLC. I know I got something going on, but it's just not perfect for me right now. And, and that's where the power of my lady come in. She helped me out during that time. She know how tough it was for me, and she held me down. You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of that goes to her, and without like a influence like that, you know what I'm saying, just still push through. And I gotta say too, real quick on that note too, there's one thing that I do try to go by, even though that did happen, is that since then in that depression phase, I just tried to look at life on like me having as less excuses as possible to try to back myself on like, oh, this is supposed to be happening because of this. I think everybody, I'm not gonna say I know that everybody has their own trials, tribulations going on in their life, you know what I'm saying? And yours is not necessarily, may not be different from anybody else's. It's just like that mental power to push through. Don't care what anybody be saying. They'll show you love when it's all said and done, but they'll hate on you as you getting it up and running. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get adjusted to that, and now I got a nice team. You know what I'm saying? I was able to build a team now to where I trust my team, my employees in the store, and the guys who helped me out with the events. I mean, I was able to build a really strong team to have me at least worry about some of those things.
No, man, I salute you, B-Mac, honestly,
yeah, I
because
appreciate
I see it, and I only know you for the last 6 months. I didn't even know you your whole life, but just from conversations and everything, you inspire me in a lot of ways, honestly, from off the rip to what we're doing now with the Money Good. It's just inspirational, you know what I mean? Just to see your story and what you've done, and just to be persevere through all of the challenges and everything that's going on. It's just like, it's different because a lot of people don't make it to this point, you know what I mean? And just being out in Dallas, I'll be telling TJ, I'll be telling Dom, he right here, where we come from in certain cities, like even like Columbus, a lot of people, we in like a, I think less than sometimes a 10% bracket, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't get the opportunities and get this, it's the position to even move
and
forward.
Then who can they look up to that's kind of doing it too, because especially in the same community as you and doing it right, you know, too. And one thing I say too before we wrap everything up is like starting your LLC. You know, you want to make sure. I listen to Larry June. It's funny that he say this in one of his songs, but you know, make sure your taxes right, little stuff like that. You know, I gotta say, like, I learned a lot with the whole taxes and sales tax and everything with Texas and how it works. Take your time on learning that stuff unless you have somebody to represent you in that way, or just both. Have somebody represent you and try to learn it yourself, you know. But I think the power and the knowledge of knowing that would, you know, they necessarily didn't teach us in school. YouTube helped me out a lot on that too as well, while also just, you know, learning on a daily basis. But that's important too when owning a business too, you know, and I think that's why what we were talking about back at home and stuff, where a lot of people don't get right back out and be able to fully shine their business, you know. I think some of that reasoning is how it can get caught up pretty easy.
No, for real. And then I just want to know too, how did you start Dated Faded One? Where did it come about? Like, that's a big question right there.
Okay, so like I was telling you about the partnership I had when me and the ex-partner did like start our the first kind of like the events like this in Dallas.
So is the ex-partner y'all no longer tied together?
No, not at all anymore. Okay. At that time we had we were just growing the business, you know. At that time, like what I was referring back to, we didn't have all of our like legal side of it all. We were just kind of running it. We were just kind of going with the flow. Let's see how it goes. How big is this gonna get? Eventually, we'll have to get an LLC. It was like one of those. But I think the power of sitting down with yourself and starting a business plan. You get your own LLC, you get everything all together, and go about it that way for sure. Dated Faded One does come from DFW, having an abbreviation in there, meaning Dallas Fort Worth. Yeah.
Guys, what you call them? So, in business-wise, what advice would you give just to start something?
Don't think you know it all just because before making everything legal, you may have think you have it all figured out. I'll say the legal way is definitely the best way to go about it, especially learning your options and what exactly your business qualify for, and you know, just things like that. I mean, you can't not know too much about how the legal side works. I will teach yourself that. Don't be afraid to learn more. Don't be afraid to ask questions to, you know, people who are doing it and going through it. You know, that's what advice I tell somebody. And mainly just the business plan side. The business plan I created for the store, it was about a 16-page business plan. And I was proud of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say the number of the pages, because I remember the time I took about 6 months off from social media. And just, I mean, I couldn't sleep without getting me, you know, some paragraphs or some sections done in my business plan.
Gotcha.
And that's how dedicated I was, and how, like, you know, how hungry I was at the time. And I'm still hungry now, you know, and there's different opportunities upon me now, and adjusting to the culture, adjusting to the community, and, you know, just where the game is going. Just keeping your eye out is how you can stay relative, I would say, you know.
Got you. And I just want to know too, I know the people want to know too, what's some of your biggest challenges you done faced with just the whole business plan and this Dated Faded One? What's some of the struggles you go through?
I mean, before I have my team as tight as it is now, you know, originally building the team was pretty tough. I don't really go out too much. I got a pretty tight, knit circle. So, you know, I got my homies that I really, you know, can feel like I can really be truly myself around. While building a team, I also know that, like, I have to also set a standard too of stuff that, like, hey, I wouldn't do this in the store. I would definitely not like for y'all to do this type of stuff in the store. You know, so it just, in the beginning, the challenges was like building the team. I owe a lot to Shane, so shout out to him. He's been rocking with me since before the store even opened, pricing stuff and helping me buy. He's been here holding down the store for the most part. You know, he's my first hand into the store. and he helps out a whole lot too. So like what I said on that team part, man, a lot of that makes a lot of things easier than it could be,
no,
you know.
For real.
So
me and T be speaking on that a lot. And tell the people, what's the importance of a team?
Don't think you can do it by yourself. Just like I was mentioning, I can't talk too much about it now for little NDA reasons and stuff. But like, there's an opportunity coming up where I'm able to like drop something this summer that's coming out. But just to speak on it, what I can, I have like great funding behind it, and I easily could have said, "Hey, I know it all. I've been in the game now for like 8 years." I've been collecting now for over 10 years now, since 2012, buying and selling. You get your experiences out there, but I don't feel like I still know it all. And with this opportunity that I'll be launching this summer, I could have used the funding that I do have backing me up and said, hey, I'd rather put more money in my pocket, take on a little bit more roles, and make a little bit more money I can put in my pocket. However, it was never an idea for me to do that, building a business plan for this next venture. And I don't mean to say next, like this is all done. No, I love this, it's my baby. But like, adjusting to everything, I do see a different route of something I'm really excited for to drop. But like, I build a team for that, going to people that I just know will fit and be like, hey, I think I got, a percentage into here that I think that, I could use this from you and make this thing long running. So the part of teamship, inside of the store, I kind of explain how that works here, but like, even outside of the store, I don't never think that I could do everything myself. Team is good. I'd rather be, a rich teammate. Speaking on the is the money good? I'd rather be I'd rather be a rich teammate than a broke boss.
I feel, I'd rather be a rich teammate than a broke boss. That's real right there. Yeah. That's something I'm taking.
Shout out to Fab. I got that from Fabulous, but
I'd rather be a rich teammate than a broke boss.
That kind of stuff stuck with me because in our community we tend to want to be like how the rappers and how to or at least what we're hearing on a daily basis into music. I got this, I got that, I could do this, I could do that. And it ain't nothing wrong with that either. You know what I'm saying? But like I think what people tend to forget is, a person like Drake, if you say he got 10 mansions all across the USA, he's on stage by himself, but he's not accounting at all other people that's getting paid as he goes through his legacy of success.
Oh, for real. And
what
you call them before we wrap everything up, B-Mac? I just want to know too, what's some of the positives that came out of all this? Like, what's some of the stuff you done rose above and just like a good message you can send to the community?
First, like meeting people like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I meet a lot of good people, and some people don't come through with their words all the time, but like people like you, I can tell that like you got goals and you got a vision that that's here in front of us right now. So I respect that, and what I would say too. I was a little impatient when all of this started. I know that now, looking back at myself. Just 5 years ago. You know what I mean? I could tend to have been a little bit impatient, and now looking at things now, I got 2 baby girls, two blessings, and before having them, I was able to understand. That Rome wasn't built overnight. And I seen that right in my business plan. It's kind of in that time I was able to just really teach more of myself things that I necessarily didn't need to hear from other people no more. I've always been in the scene. I've always been talking to vendors next to me, the event creators of all of the events I supported. I felt like I got a lot of that, but then I gave myself some me time. I promise I learned a lot on YouTube, yo. I mean, that's the biggest cheat code we got out here. I didn't even know how powerful YouTube was until I made my business plan, when it's just like I'm learning how to make it my business plan and what did I need, and videos will start popping up that was more similar to me and my business. So it's like, use that tool. That's free. That's free. Real.
And before we end this and everything, I just want to say I salute you.
I salute you too, bro.
I appreciate everything, honestly.
I appreciate you, yeah.
Well, I just want to give your flowers, man, because what you calling, you one of the first people that rocked with me out here when I first moved out here. I think I was probably like 1 week or 2 weeks fresh in.
Yeah.
What you call them? Shout out Neom and Ryan. You know what I mean? They done took me in too. Y'all done took me in as like y'all little brother. I done met some of y'all peoples and everything in the family. And y'all done treated me like y'all own. So I'm forever grateful, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just going to say while we on camera, man, it's just crazy how God worked. And I just want to thank God. Because I'm over here just walking down Deep Ellum. Honestly, just, just minding my own business. I'm with Shorty at the time, and we just pop up into like a little Mexican spot. I didn't even know it was their grand opening.
Yeah, it was their grand opening that day. Yeah.
We just chilling. B-Mac asked us to hold his table. I could have been like, nah, we ain't holding no table. We ended up holding the table. We ended up chopping it up. He done got me some real connections. He didn't even know he got me these connections, but just chopping it up with him and just talking.
Right.
You just never know who God put you in front of. And like he said, he don't even pop out like that.
Right, yeah, I don't be out too much, but
just to be able just to, you know what I mean, just break bread with you.
For a reason, you know what I'm saying?
I just appreciate that a lot, honestly. And just to be an inspiration in my life, you know what I mean? I'm young, trying to get to where you at, you know what I mean? I look up to you in a lot of ways.
I appreciate that, man.
So, you know what I mean? This so inspiring me, so inspirational in so many ways. I just appreciate that, honestly. And just the journey, you know what I mean? Because it's been hard just adjusting from coming out here for work and trying to do off the rip, trying to manage life and just, you know what I mean? When they say it's real when you reach new levels, there's new devils and just trying to conquer through everything.
That's true.
And just adjusting everything is just, it's deep, honestly.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? I just thank God for just the journey. You know what I mean? Where we going and where we getting to. You know what I mean? I've been to TJ, but I done met Dom and our other homies out here, and they done took care of me, took me in. You know what I mean? Every day not bright, but we, you know what I mean? You smile like it is. So I just thank God for that. Yeah. And you know what I mean?
I appreciate you. I mean, like, you know, I can tell just based off of the words, you know, and how you present them, you know what I'm saying? You really genuine. And I said that in the beginning, but like, I really, really mean that. You can feel it, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I appreciate you, man. I really, really do. And, man, I think, you know, just knowing each other just for 6 months, there's a lot more, you know, to learn, you know, and probably, you know, venture out with, you know, anything that we can think of, you know. So I appreciate you, bro, and your mindset.
No, we definitely appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
But this is Dated, Faded, Warm, man. We ending it here. If you want anything, tap in with B-Mac, tap in with Dated, Faded, Warm. So shout yourself out on everything.
Social media, you can catch me at B-Mac Jr. _ Dated, Faded, Warren on Instagram is where we host our events. That's all of our event content. And then we got Dated, Faded, Warren store, all of the store content. So, but yeah, and then be on the lookout this summer. Like I said, this new thing I'm gonna be dropping here soon. I mean, I've been extremely excited and been working hard on it. So, I appreciate the platform you put me on today. I appreciate it.
We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, B-Mac.
My brother, yes, sir.
Off the rip.